All right.
Do you hear this
Now,
fucker?
I think we're live right now. Yes, we are.
What's up, guys?
Hold on one second.
It's this IV cam on your top left corner of
But
your
I don't know
screen, bro.
why I'm not seeing the video right now. One second. There you go. We're live.
I got we live.
Yes. One second. Cálmate, Mike.
Yo, Mikey. So I think we're gonna hold off on that duplex. We're thinking it's too tight.
It is, dude. With that 3,000 to 6,000 margin, that's a huge risk for very little reward.
Well, we gave ourselves around 10 grand in renovations, didn't we?
Yep.
But even then,
But the profit margins on our own end just being so small compared to that other one where we're looking at like what
All
30
right.
to
Can you guys
forty-eight
try to
thousand
open
each.
this link right here? The one that I sent you guys on the home share group.
Let's see. You sent it on WhatsApp. Hey, fuck yeah! Oh, are we live? We're live, huh?
You guys can open that link that I sent you.
I opened it, but it says live streaming isn't available right now.
same here.
So it's not available. Hold on. Oh, I see why. Hold on. All right. Done. You guys can open it back again.
Click the link again.
One second. See why. Hold on. All right, so we're live, guys.
Hello.
There you go.
What's up, guys?
Hey, yeah, I see it.
Mike.
All right, so maybe if you want to hold on. Part of this is
Oh yeah. Maybe if I'm like something like that.
maybe you'll need this slide more than we
Damn. It's good, man.
do. Okay. All right. I think we're good, huh?
It's good to me.
All right. So what are we working with?
So we're gonna study a couple of things, right? What do you guys want to talk about? I want to talk about.
I think first
You go ahead.
things first, how interest rates are affecting the market and what is our forecast on what's going to happen at the end of the year, middle of next. What about you? What do you want to chat about?
Think about. I want to. I want to chat about how the market is changing and how we can benefit from this investment wise, and what type of of project would be the best. What project would have the best outcome to invest in?
Like that. Yeah. What do they say? Most wealth is created during a downturn and not an upturn.
Exactly, dude.
Yep.
In what, in respects to which, what part? Um, I think I think there's going to be a little bit of panic in respect to people with the high interest rates, the market crashing and whatnot. People are going to start being a little bit more, you know, buyer friendly and just dropping it down, because buyers are going to hold off because interest is going up. So the buyer pool shrinks, and so I think sellers are going to drop their price, and that's good for us if we're doing the fix and flip business, fix and flips,
Yep.
and maybe wholesales as well. I think they're gonna go up because they really don't know. They're gonna be speculating with the market between right now and a year if their property is gonna devalue, upwards of 100,000. So that gives us wiggle room for any project that we do have.
Yeah, big time. And like how what you're saying in the beginning with the rising interest rates, the uncertainty people are going to have. I like to share that the thing that I've been hearing a lot lately is you marry the house, but you date the rate. So don't think of that 8% interest rate or the 6.5 where we're at currently as a forever 30-year commitment to that rate. You always have the option to adapt as time goes.
But wouldn't you say with your the the jobs right now and how the salaries being paid right now at those high interest rates, it's almost crazy to buy a property right now at
Yeah,
the rate the interest rates are going up.
I saw there was this stat in Vancouver, Canada, that the average rental price is higher than the average income. So how like not the rental price is the average income, but to make $30,000 a year, you can't afford a $2,200 two-bedroom, two-bath home ever. So when you flip that around for purchase, it makes it even more challenging because your DTI is what comes into place, and you can't have a 60% DTI, debt to income ratio.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
what's going to be the solution, right? And what I've heard are the new loans that are coming in, not new, but back in 2007, 2008, ARMs were a big one. And I think we might see a whole lot more ARM loans, or that's what they are, right? ARMs? Yeah, the ARM loans to pay less up front and then to bet that the rate's going to go down in 2 to 5 years.
So you think it acts as a balloon rate kind of deal?
Yeah, where you don't pay the interest or you pay a very small interest right now, but then come a certain amount of time, then that interest comes into place.
Hmm. Can you refi?
Yeah, you can refi.
Or is there, okay? There's
Mm. Yep, yep. And that's what people were trying to do prior to the real estate crash of 2007. But obviously, that took a turn for the worst because people were giving out loans if you had a 400 credit score and a job 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But these days are different. These days are different, and I think a lot of millennials and Generation Z they only know of real estate crash that happened. So when they think of a crash or a recession, they immediately think, "Oh, this $250,000 house is going to be worth 190 in 6 months." I don't agree with that thought personally.
To your knowledge, Mike, I know you've been like researching like prior market crashes. What do you see? You've seen it like in real estate wise. What turn does that take? Usually when the market crashes, like or the economy crashes, like what happens to real estate?
Well, the last recession that wasn't real estate, the house prices declined 6%. So we're talking, yeah, house prices 6%, and that was the higher one of the few that happened. And so we're talking like if it's a $300,000 house, what is that? $1,800 decrease in value. That's not significant in the grand scheme of things. But if you look at the stats from 2007 in Tucson alone, Southern Arizona, we had over 12,000 homes for sale and not many people buying. Today, we have 2,000 homes for sale and everybody buying. So it might slow down. But that's it. That's all I think. It might slow down. That's all.
Yeah, I think we can't hear you, Jorge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you there.
Gotcha.
Now,
But what's your prediction, Caesar?
my prediction is that at these high interest rates and with this uncertainty of price inflation and whatnot, businesses are going to get shut down. People are going to lose their jobs, and they got a lot of people bought either properties or they put all of their toys and everything under their mortgage. So what happens? If they refied and they put their razors or motorcycles or anything into their mortgage credit card, that's I don't want to compare it to 2008 or anything like that, but when you do that and companies are closing down, stocks are like going down. What happens? I mean, people losing their jobs, they can't pay high interest rates, they can't buy another home. So a lot of bankruptcy. I feel there's going to be people that are just going to be trying to get you know trying trying to swim against the current kind of deal, you know. And the current is basically inflation and higher interest rates, and things are going to get more expensive. So I don't know, man. I feel people are going to start losing their homes, and they're going to start selling, trying to sell quick. So that's going to be good for listings. I think it's going to be good
Oh
for
yeah.
wholesaling. I think it's going to be good for rehabbers. Well, we got to look into that because rehabbers, maybe hard money lenders or private lenders are gonna. I don't know. We need to investigate a little bit more as to if they might raise their interest rates.
Yeah.
So from there, I think banks are gonna start. There's gonna be REOs and foreclosures. I can see. I think I can see that coming. So I feel that us as a group, we should have a small savings for those times that are coming, so we can scoop up properties that does happen to them, to those people. That
Mm.
so I feel that's when it's going to happen. That's my
It very well
prediction.
could with layoffs and any of that. Then they can't afford their mortgage. And you said REO, so that's when the bank owns the property. They've taken control, taken ownership.
Yep.
That's going to be an opportunity. Really,
Right.
short sales happen. They might owe too much, and they want to sell for less than what it's worth. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah. And that's one of those things where all you got to do is pivot, right? And then have a plan of action from there, because we just got out of 2 years of unprecedented valuation increases, historically higher than ever before in
Right.
Southern Arizona's time here. And one thing that never changes is change. So pivoting and making a game plan is key. Sorry guys, I keep getting a phone call. My apologies. But I think that's a great strategy. And then reaching out to everybody with our resources that we have that we newly acquired, I think that's going to be key.
Do you think that keeping properties for rental as rental investments is a key to even with these this inflation or the property, people are thinking that there's going to be a crash. Do you think like keeping your properties and keeping them as rentals is the best way to go? Will properties devalue? Do you guys think?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No worries. Yep.
Yeah.
I figure the rental market's worse than the sale market.
You're right. Yeah, and that's hard to
And
do. Hard.
oh, it is seriously. I think Nathan, our agent partner, he mentioned when you're looking at buying rentals as an investment, especially like Airbnb, he mentioned that it's a wise decision to add into your math where your mortgage payment due every month, it can equate to a 12-month lease as well. So your phase one is Airbnbs, but if you hit a recession like we are, people are going to travel less. So if you need to commit to a plan B, a 12-month lease is right there, and you already know you're in the clear. And we're already seeing unprecedented rental rates these days. It's nuts to find anything under a grand in Tucson right now.
Yeah. Another thing, guys, I want to talk to you guys about this. What about the people that have been sitting in their property with all this equity? I know you guys are running that campaign, the listing campaign. Right.
Yep. And then even if you're a homeowner, using a home equity line of credit or pulling out some of your equity to invest in some rentals, some businesses, some real estate. This is a great opportunity while the valuations are still unprecedentedly high. I was looking at the stats just yesterday. We are higher in pending sales, higher, like still at 100% list to sold ratio, which means if it was listed at 260, they got 260 for it. Back in 2007, it was an 81% list to sold ratio, which means if it was listed for 200, it sold for 160. So on average, houses were selling for 20% less, or whatever that math is. So now
Gotcha.
is a great time. It's a phenomenal time.
And would you guys as homeowners and sitting on this equity, they were people were predicting that it was still growing and the peak hadn't come. So we're already seeing a peak, and we're seeing a you know prices balancing out, a plateau. So putting yourselves in these homeowners' shoes, uh, the way I see it, I think it's kind of like a Ferris wheel. What do you guys think? Would you guys, the higher seats being the better seats, bigger houses, nicer, better construction and newer. Would you guys uh, sell your property, get that equity for when those nicer houses come down? Would you and jump on that wagon? Is that something in the near future? So would you say that people that do have the equity and do have the means to do a HELOC, would you guys suggest for them to do it now or to hold off a couple of months from now, upwards of a year?
Yep. Yes. And those are all six figures in equity. I'm going to go on mute for a second.
Interest rate. Yeah. The best time. It was the best time to buy. Perfect.
Big time. Yep. Big time. And everybody has a different situation. Like that program that Jorge was just showing, we give them like 4 or 5 different options, whether it's a refinance, a line of credit, a sale, or even turning it into a home hacking. The biggest thing is do not make a decision from fear, because that's where you make the most mistakes. That's what we're talking about, this opportunity where Caesar was mentioning flipping homes. When people act in fear, they're not fully educated and making the most wisest decisions, and that's where a lot of people can get the most wealth because they're going to capitalize on other people's misfortune.
Fear.
Honestly,
Fear, basically. And now, with the HELOCs, yeah, no problem. So going back to the HELOCs, so you guys would suggest to take the HELOCs out right now and purchase at this interest rate going on. The interest rate we have right now, which we're looking at, what, 6.5,
yeah. Let
maybe
me see. I'm
7.
pulling what's currently going on right at this moment. Mortgage. Okay, right now we are looking at. Actually, it went down 5.85 for a 30-year fixed.
Wow, that's good.
5.85. And the 5/1 arms are going for 5.3.
That's good.
30-year VAs are going for 5.5. See, it's going better, but we all know that every time the Feds meet for the rest of the year, they're going to raise the rates for a fact.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Exactly.
So that's something where I would say yes, get a HELOC now if that is part of your goal to capitalize on the equity that you've already generated, because it's there.
And
Interest
take
rates are only
access
going up.
and take the most out of it. Don't lose out on it
Mhm.
kind of deal.
And the thing of it is you pay when you pay it back, you're paying your self interest and not somebody else.
Hmm.
Yes. So a great tool to use, especially you have an investment. And a lot of people think when they buy their first house, like this is my house. It's also an investment tool for your future. And it's one of the best ways to generate wealth. Honestly, and especially in this market where we're seeing some changes where people got to pivot, and it's best to be ahead of the curve.
Right.
And
Exactly.
let's talk about, what do you guys think about real estate agents and this uncertainty in the market? Are we going to gain agents like we did in the last year, 2 years, or do you think we're going to have to see some fall off? Yeah,
Bob?
not even 6 months or even a year. Yep, all the money. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
And in the grand scheme of things regarding interest rates, back in what was it, the 60s or 70s, I remember there was this agent that said he remembers putting on a sign writer on his listing, and it was a special deal for interest rates at 14%. 14%
Wow.
interest. And people were like, oh my God, this is a deal. Let's
Great
go.
deal, man.
Please. So like Jorge was saying, like I think people are still gonna buy no matter what, whether it's a 5.8 interest rate or a 9.9. The minimal supply of homes and the demand of houses is gonna take years to switch. It's
But
gonna take
how do
years.
you
Like
explain the people's wages and how they
that's the
qualify?
challenge. That's where I think we're gonna see the de-acceleration in values, and it maybe even to a plateau, and maybe even to go down. So inevitably, people are going to be buying just as much as they were, if not more,
But the price has got to drop.
because they gotta drop if wages don't follow inflation, which they aren't, they haven't been, and if anything like that. But one thing we do know for a fact is those that did buy had good credit scores. But just because they have a good credit score doesn't mean that they're going to lose their job, or that they can't lose their job, because we're seeing that already with layoffs and the great, I forget what they call it, the great where people are just leaving their job because of unfair working conditions.
Going back to the agents coming into the industry, didn't they just make the test harder? And
Oh, yeah.
also with this dynamic of properties going, peaking and, high interest rates and things just being handed to you as an agent, you know, easy properties, easy sales, you list family members' home, sells it in, 48 hours, you know, didn't they just what do you think? They just made it harder to jump onto the ship and more agents jumping out of ship.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my favorite question because you and I were agents before this crazy market where we would actually have to work
Yeah,
to
yeah,
to sell the house,
right.
reverse prospect, door knock, find buyers, call people, and like actually give buyer agents respect, right?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna see that that's gonna shift and go from there. I'm excited for it because this is the best time.
Actually back then, man, this is funny. This is so funny, but people actually had to like you before. Like they interviewed you. Usually that happens with luxury properties or something like. But buyers would interview you, sellers would interview you before. You had to be just the perfect fit for their real estate needs. And
Yep.
and these times it was like work for everybody. It was like doesn't matter who you are. And also a lot of these real estate agents. I'm not talking bad about any specifically, but a lot of agents just became a little colder or just
Yep.
not as warm with buyers or sellers and just really cutthroat kind of deal. Which before you had to kind of sugarcoat it, you had to be nicer, you had to actually work for it, like you said.
Yeah.
It
It's like
got
it's
an
like
impact.
vacationing to it's like vacationing to Italy. The people that are working there, they're not going to give you the respect because they know there's going to be a million other people vacationing. So I don't need to really put my effort in. Now we're on the opposite side where it's like we got to create unique solutions to new challenges, like the ARM loan, assuming a VA loan and then taking the second mortgage out for a little higher interest rate, but finding these little wins for sellers and these little wins for buyers that make it all worth it, which is more effort and more time in the industry. So I'm excited for it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yep. Hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because their money is being devalued as we speak, is losing
Yep.
value as we speak. People's money, they got it in a bank account, if they got it under the mattress, you know, that man, that money is losing value. So it needs to be invested into something that's, still, keep their worth now and in years to come,
Hmm.
Are you guys willing to buy a Bitcoin? Complete Bitcoin?
If the price is right, man, I'm buying one.
Yeah, same here, same here. Guys, going with this
I'm
line of
actually
thought,
excited for that.
what type of, so you guys are speaking about opportunities, right? Opportunities. Like, I just wanted to highlight the types of opportunities that us as agents are gonna have, or our group. What do you guys think as far as like opportunities? Like, do you think like bullets? Like, so the opportunity of, mm, what would you guys say the bullet points of opportunities are for us right now? Yes.
Yeah, there'll be a line of people too.
What do you
Oh,
think,
big
Mike?
time. I think the name of the game is options. Everybody needs to have options. When they have equity, what can you do with it? Do you want to pull it? Do you want to sell your house and upgrade? Or do you want to upgrade your own house? The more people that you can educate and share your value of all these different options, being on the same side of the table as them, I think is the biggest opportunity to make and become wealthy in the real estate industry. Because people don't know what they don't know. And sometimes a simple piece of advice of a HELOC now that's your person. And they're going to get that value. It may not even be helpful with you if they decide to buy a huge TV, but they're going to refer every person they know to you because you were the one that wasn't like, well, give me something first and then I'll help you. It was give, then receive. I think that's the name of the game for sure. And then, like how Jorge said, the rehabs and helping people in a situation they might have lost their job and they want to sell their house as quick as possible, as fast as possible, with as much money as they possibly can get. And so, being able to just be able to think on your feet and then provide potential solutions will net you the most amount of conversions across the board.
Right. I think I think we should also work together as far as trying to acquire properties for the properties that are gonna. I really believe that there's gonna be foreclosures. So being ready for foreclosures or REOs. So with that, we can get really good deals on those properties. So I'm more on the side of people that, sure, I'll get out that money from a HELOC at a 6%, at a 4, because right around that time, those people got their loans, they have that equity, they stick with that interest rate. So those people that bought like 5 years ago at a 3% interest, they bought at a 3.5, 4, even at a 4% interest. They could get that money out and just keep that money until they can find a good deal, a good deal. Because you don't want to buy top dollar. You don't want to buy top dollar um,
No.
because really right now, going with top, you got to find a good deal because I still feel like people that have that equity, if they don't know how to use that money and they just buy another another top dollar property, what are you going to tell me about, you know, the price going down, meaning, shifting, the price shift happening. So now you're going to be sitting with two top dollar properties that don't have the value,
I see what you
you
mean.
know? So I feel that you can get that money out at at the top at the interest that you have your mortgage at, and just wait for the perfect opportunity and just be patient with it. And I say take the money out right now because you might be losing equity soon. So if they can get that out now and just whatever, just keep it under your couch, keep it up under your mattress or wherever you want to keep it, but just wait for that perfect investment property to happen.
Yeah.
I feel
And like
that's
you
the
said,
best.
you want to be patient with it because there's a saying called "Don't catch falling knives." So don't just try to time the market. It's better to see if valuations do go down. It's better to catch it like this rather than like this, and you buy right here and it continues to go down. You want to be in that bull part of it,
Right.
and that's where that
And
patience comes in.
and if you have let's say your primary residence, and you take out that equity, so you're topping that property up to its max. Let's say the price shifts and it goes down. So your property is now devalued. Your mortgage is worth more than what your property is worth. But
Mm-hmm.
you compensate with a good investment property that you got it at a good price and slightly, with your properties, you know, over, you know, it's your mortgage is more than what your property's worth. With that, you compensate a good investment, solid investment at a 4%. Way better than what you would have gotten it, at right now's interest rate. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I would assume everyone's situation is different. But if if an individual was to pull some money from their HELOC, their next purchase would be an investment home. So, like you mentioned, don't buy the most expensive house on the block. Buy one of the least expensive, whatever it is. But just to protect your investment and to have the highest ROI potential. It was like the duplex we looked at today. It would have been the highest sale in that neighborhood, and that's a risk. That's a
Right.
high risk with low reward, big time.
Right. So, what else? Do you guys have anything else?
How long have we been on so far? Has it been like how long have we been live so far? Not bad. I'm actually gonna have to get going and install some papers with the Fam Bam. This has been a pleasure, gentlemen. A
Likewise,
true pleasure.
guys. Yes, and it's yeah.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good. Oh, cool. Well, it's been a privilege. It's been a pleasure, guys. My pleasure.
Always, my friends. Cheers.
All right. Later.